10 million people in the United States experience domestic violence each year. Community members gathered in Rockford to honor survivors and remember lives lost to domestic violence. The annual Shine the Light on Domestic Violence ceremony highlights the strength of survivors and those working to bring change. WIFR's Miriam Niesmeyer spoke with survivors and community leaders about why keeping this conversation alive matters.
That's right, Daniel. It was a night filled with art, reflection, and resilience as survivors, advocates, and local leaders came together to shine a light on domestic violence prevention. The annual ceremony honors lives lost and celebrates the people fighting every day to create a safer community.
It takes about 7 or 8 times for a survivor to leave a domestic violence situation.
Inside Crusader Community Health, dozens gather to remember and reflect on an issue that affects millions of people, domestic violence.
This is not only to shine a light on the bravery and strength of the victims of domestic violence in our community, but also to shine a light on the workers in our community.
Shining the Light on Domestic Violence ceremony is hosted by the 17th Judicial Circuit Family Violence Coordinating Council, bringing survivors and advocates together to raise awareness.
That any survivors feel that their voices are being heard, that any offenders of domestic violence know that there's places in our community that care about them too, and that can get them help and services.
The night also highlighted how art can be a tool to heal from domestic violence.
Drew like butterfly wings behind them because I looked at how purple butterflies represent domestic violence.
Annika Wisman is a survivor of domestic violence. She participated in the art contest and got 3rd place at the ceremony.
You get to visually see it, I suppose, which makes it a lot more powerful than just words.
2 community members were recognized for their impact. Allison Meeson with Winnebago County's Assistant State's Attorney and McKenna Bauer with Remedies Renewing Lives organization. Meeson is honored for spending decades standing up for survivors in the courtroom.
The State's Attorney's Office here has a dedicated unit that prosecutes domestic violence, and with experienced attorneys that listen to the survivors.
The ceremony closed with a candle lighting and moment of silence. Organizers say the goal is to inspire community action and awareness.
If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, help is available on the state line or immediately through the National Domestic Violence Hotline. That is 800-799-7233.